Oh, hey there. I didn't see you there. Doing a video about funny haunted house experiences that I've experienced in my day. Makes me sound old. If you enjoy that, hit the subscribe button, join the Shooting Star family, and welcome back to day 4 of Wrongturnober. And I hope you're enjoying this so far. I'm having fun filming. It's like my day, like my break from reality, like my day. It's like, oh, I sit down and film a video and edit. The first haunted house experience, shall I say, so the first one is whenever I was with the group I was with, my sister and Corey and them. We were going through, and at the end there was a chair, just a random chair, and I jumped over it, but I don't think anyone else did, because I remember hearing people falling and being like, oh my god, where the hell does this chair come from? It was funny in the moment. And another one, my sister, Corey, and I forget who we were with, but we were at a haunted, maybe it was the same one as the chair today. Mary's my sister, Corey's her husband. So we were like going through, and then we were like in this dark room, and me and Mary got cornered, and she's pregnant, might I add, which she wasn't. I think she's probably only like 3 months pregnant. She wasn't that far along. And so Corey and them ran off, left us to fend for ourselves, and we were like trapped in this corner, and we were like, oh my god, like screaming. And then I freaking just booked it, and then I left her behind. So then that makes me like a bad person, but like Corey left her behind too. Another time, Mary and I, Corey, his friend, were in a haunted house, and then there was this drunk woman, her boyfriend, her husband, I don't know what he was to her, and she like was walking, and it was like this gravel, so it was like this, like going down, it was like an incline, a decline, and we were just walking, and then Corey screams, oh my god, guys, something's happening, the door is opening, and we're like, what are you talking about? And so Mary looks, and she's like screams, and I'm like, I'm not gonna look behind me, and Corey's friend pushes me and is like, go, 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 and I'm like, I can't. So then I like fall into Mary, she pushes like into this man, and then she looks back again because she's like, what the hell? And she screams. Then she screams, I black out, like from fear, from terror of the unknown. And then when I come to, Mary's on this man's back, like not fully on it, but her like his hair. She's like holding onto his shirt, and she's like screaming, and it's so funny because she goes, I'm so sorry, like I did not mean to grab onto you, but I was like, she was so scared that she grabbed onto this man. Then when we were going through like the same haunted house, like as that man story, there was like chainsaws, and so Mary, she's just sacrificing everyone, and she's like, you go, and you go, and you go, and like sacrificing every single person. And I'm like, hell no, I'm not going. And I like run behind her, because me and Mary both hate chainsaws. And so like Corey Corey and his friend are like, what the hell, man? And I don't know what happened to like the couple and like the other person. Maybe like my computer just like, maybe they just went through, but I'm like, okay. So then like I'm hiding, and Mary's going, and like I saw like the chainsaw, and then me and Mary were like, no, and we like run back into the haunted house, like just run forward, and then eventually we got out of there. But no, I cannot do chainsaws. So whenever I went with my friends Sierra and Faith, we were like Sierra's like, oh, I have to go to the restroom. And this man's like, well, you could go into the porta-john over there. And it was like this porta-john was in like the woods, crooked sideways. And she's like, no, I don't think so. And he's like, well, like, I'll hold your hand. And she goes, no, like, I'm not going to the restroom in that porta-john. And he was just like, kept telling her. And it was so funny because it was just like this creepy porta-john. Then, whenever Faith and I was going through and Sierra was behind us, there was this creepy girl on the floor. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, how are you? And she's like, crying. And then all I hear is like, we're going forward. And Sierra goes, Allie, Allie. And I look behind me and this girl is like holding on to my hair. I mean, like, you're not supposed to be able to get touched in a haunted house. But anywho, so she's holding on to my hair and she's like, I don't know why I don't feel it, but she's like, hi. And I was like, bro, like, why the hell are you touching my hair? And she's, and then the girl's like, oh, I thought it was a wig. And I was like, hair, my hair, not a wig. And it was just so funny, because I was like, you're insulting me. Like, then Sierra, Faith, and I are walking through, and I'm like, guys, I smell chainsaws. And they're like, Sarah's like, oh, hell no. And Faith's like, oh, it's just a chainsaw, whatever. And so then we're going, and then I see him, and I'm like, like, I somehow, like, guess being short is, like, a perk, because I went, like, underneath, like, between his legs, and I started running, and like sprinting, and then like I stopped because I'm like, I can't breathe because obviously I'm running, and like he's chasing Sierra, and so then and he's chasing Sierra, and then she sees me, and like he just goes back to like, I guess, to get scare someone else, and she's like, wow, that was so scary. And then this man, like this other guy with a chainsaw, comes out, and Sierra's like, oh, heck no, Allie, just go, run, run, run. So I'm running, and she's like, I have to pee. And I'm like, I have to pee. And she's like, I'm so scared. And she goes, I think I peed myself. And I was like, I think I peed myself. And then we get into this, like, room, and this man's like, oh, come in here, it's safe in here. So then we go in there, and he's like, just sitting on a chair. So we sat on a chair, and then he, like, black, and we started, like, noise, and then he screams in my ear, and I screamed so loud that I swear it sounded like murdered. So that is my haunted house stories. If you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.